A very good morning, students. Welcome back once again. Today we will be doing the new chapter, Unit 5, Chapter 10, Rip Van Winkle. So, the contents of the story are story, new words, opposite words, and question and answer. So, let's first see about the writer. The writer of the story Rip Van Winkle is Washington Irving. He was born on April 3, 1783 and died on November 28, 1859. He was born in America and was a writer and a novelist. His famous works include The Legend of Sleepy Hollow and Rip Van Winkle. He writes the short story for children. So, let's begin the story and read the story carefully. All of you, take out your book, page 82. Rip Van Winkle. This story is about Rip Van Winkle, a good natured but lazy man who goes away into the hills and falls asleep. When he awakens 20 years later, Rip finds that quite a few things have changed. So let's see. In a village at the foothills of the Catskill Mountains lived a simple, good natured fellow named Rip Van Winkle. Many years ago, at the foothills of Catskill Mountain was a large village. In the village lived a simple, good-natured fellow named Rip Van Winkle. He was a kind neighbor, ready to help anyone. Everyone in the village liked him. The children of the village shouted with joy whenever they saw him because he played with them. He taught them to fly kites, shoot marbles, and told them long stories. The only problem with Rip was that he was very lazy. He didn't do no work on his own farm and just idled away his time. His fences were falling to pieces. His cow was going astray. Weeds grew on his farm. Rip's constant companion was his dog, named Wolf. To avoid work, he would walk away into the forest with his dog. One day, Rip just walked on and reached the highest part of the mountain. It was late in the afternoon when he reached there. Tired after his long climb, he lay down and began daydreaming. It was soon evening and he realized it would be night by the time he reached his village. Suddenly, he heard a voice calling out, "Rip Van Winkle, Rip Van Winkle." He looked around and saw a short old man with thick hair and a grizzled beard walking towards him with a barrel. He made signs to help him carry the barrel. Rip hurried to help the stranger, who caught his hand tightly. Together they reached a place where there were some more odd-looking men playing nine pins. They were all dressed the same way, and all of them had beards of various shapes and colors. Even though they were playing a game, their faces were serious and there were silence. The only sound was the noise of the balls which echoed in the mountains like thunder. Rip hurried to help the stranger who caught his hand tightly. Together they reached a place where there were some more odd looking men playing nine pins. They were all dressed the same way and all of them had beards of various shapes and colors. Even though they were playing a game, their faces were serious and there was silence. The only sound was the noise of the balls, which echoed in the mountains like thunder. As Rip and his companion reached them, they stopped playing and stared at Rip with a fixed gaze. Rip was really frightened. His companion emptied the contents of the barrel into glasses, made Rip drink it. Rip obeyed as he was trembling with fear. Since he was thirsty, he drank a few more glasses and slowly fell into a deep sleep. On waking up, he found that he was at the place where he had first met the old man. He rubbed his eyes. It was a bright sunny morning. Surely I have not slept here all night, thought Rip. He looked around for Wolf, but he was nowhere. Rip whistled for him. Wolf, Wolf! He then shouted. No dog was to be seen. Where has the dog gone? He muttered. As he neared the village, he met a number of people, but he couldn't know any of them. The villagers also stared at him, equally surprised. Who is this man? Said one. I have never seen him before, said another. Look at his long white beard and his wrinkled face. On hearing this, Rip stroked his chin, and to his astonishment, he found his beard had grown a foot long and it was all white. An old woman walked up to him and looked at his face for a moment. Then she exclaimed, It is Rip Van Winkle. Welcome home again, old neighbor. Where have you been these 20 long years? And that was the moment when he realized that he was sleeping for long 20 years. So, this is the story of Rip Van Winkle. So, all of you read the story again and learn the difficult words. An old woman walked up and looked at his face for a moment, then explained, It is Rip Van Winkle. Welcome home again, old neighbor. Where have you been these 20 long years? So, the summary of the story. This is the story about a village where one man, handsome man, Rip Van Winkle, lived. He was a very good natured man, and everyone loved him in his neighbor, especially the children, because he used to play with them, tell them stories. But he had one fault. What was that? Yes, he was very, very lazy. So one day he started walking and walking and walking. And when he got tired, he went near the tree and sat down and he drank some drink. Then what happened? Yes, after a long time he woke up, and the moment he woke up, he looked here and there. Surely I have not slept here all night. He was thinking that he had slept for a night, but he started looking for his dog Wolf. Wolf, where has this dog gone? And he started looking for him. To his surprise, when he reached the village, he saw that everyone was looking at him in a puzzled and surprised way. He couldn't imagine why they were looking at him like that. But an old woman came, and when she saw him closely, she said, "It is Rip Van Winkle. Welcome home again, old neighbor." So she was the neighbor of Rip Van Winkle. So all of you students, read the story nicely, and today's activity is find difficult words from the lesson and write them 2 times each in your classwork notebook. From each page, write the lesson and difficult words. So students, thank you. Have a blessed day. Bye till the next class.